John Deere 0 turning radius z925a. Rough engine, loses power uphill. Doesn't sound right. Checked fuel line, replaced fuel filter, fuel pump. Air filter looks okay. One brand new spark plug is sooty after running an hour or so.
Can you guesstimate how old the engine is? And has it done anything like this in the past?
2010. Had problem a few years ago, replaced coil. With that problem, the engine still sounded okay when I started up. Now I can hear that something is not quite right.
Do you plan on doing the work yourself?
Depends on the problem. Fuel filter and pump were easy, so I did it myself.
Anything else we should know to help you best?
I can get a new coil and cut my grass. Same side of the engine as the sooty spark plug.
Welcome to Just Answer Small Engines. Let me try to help you. I don't know it all, but maybe together we can get you a satisfactory answer. Run the cylinder balance test. Loosen the spark plug wires, and with engine idling, remove one wire at a time. If engine dies when either wire is removed, the opposite cylinder is not firing. I think the sooted plug is bot firing, check it for spark and compression. Coil may be bad again.
The engine stops when I remove the non-sooted spark plug. It does not stop when I remove the sooted spark plug.
Correct, the sooted cylinder is not firing. Does it have spark?
Sorry, I don't know what that means or how to check that.
Do you have a spare spark plug? Remove spark plug wire, attach the spare spark plug to the wire, and with the spark plug grounded to the engine metal, crank and see if there is spark at the plug tip.
Okay, thanks. Going to check now.
Okay.
There are blue sparks jumping across the spare plug attached to the sooty spark plug wire when I turn the engine on.
Okay, coil is good. Do you have a way to check compression, or check the valves?
Just watched a compression testing video. I guess I will see if I can borrow a compression gauge and check the compression. What are some of the possibilities at this point?
If compression is low, less than 120 pounds per square inch, you can check both sides for a comparison. If compression is okay, the valves may need to be adjusted, or you may find a pushrod off.
Okay, thanks. Off to find a compression gauge. Does the engine need to be warm for the test? I got conflicting information from different videos.
Does not matter.
Left, sooty, side, 118, right side, 98.
Should run with the compression, the valve clearance needs to be checked. 0.006 inch on intake and exhaust.
Is it possible that a valve clearance adjustment could solve the problem?
Yes.
Can you tell me what position the valves need to be in for the measurement and where to look for screws to make adjustments? Here is a picture that I took of the sooty side valves. I'm not sure if I did this right, but after rotating the engine I get measurements of 0.015 for the top, or left, valve and 0.013 for the bottom, or right, valve. Are those large values, relative to 0.006, consistent with my problem? I don't quite see how to move the rocker arm out of the way to make an adjustment.
The clearance is taken between the end of the valve and the rocker arm. And this engine shows to need 0.002 to 0.004 inch intake and exhaust. The center pivot bolt is a concentric bolt, and turning the bolt changes the clearance. I always turn one valve down, open, and set the one that is up, closed, then repeat on the other valve, then do the other head.
Okay, thanks. I need to find a more refined feeler gauge, mine only goes to 0.012. I will check back after I find one.
Okay, any auto supply has them.
Well, I got the feeler gauge and set the sooty side clearances to 0.003. 003 fits and 004 does not. I also replaced the gasket since it fell apart when I took the cover off. The engine still dies when I started and pulled the non-sooty side spark plug out. Ugh. I was really hoping it would work. What next?
Cylinder is not firing. May have low compression. Or other problems with the cylinder. Run compression test on both cylinders and see if the dead cylinder has good compression.
Left, sooty side, is now 82 and right is 98. Earlier these were 118 and 98. Did I perhaps not put the new gasket on the cover correctly? Is the gasket reversible, that is, does the side to the cover matter?
You change the rocker cover gasket, will not affect compression. Something is wrong in the cylinder, maybe as simple as the exhaust port plugged in the cylinder head, which would keep fuel from entering and exhaust from exiting. In my opinion, the cylinder head needs to be removed. Then it can be examined. And the valves can be ground, and the ports checked for carbon buildup.
Okay. Removing the cylinder head sounds like something I could do. Does valve grinding require special tools?
Depends on how the valves look. If seat is damaged, it might require a new head. But just lapping the valves does not take any special tools.
Okay, I took the sooty cylinder head apart. Here are a few pictures. It seems like the exhaust valve pipe part is crusty. Could that be the problem? What's the best way to clean all this? Should I show you some other picture?
You want to lap both valves, to be sure they are fully seating. The carbon is an after effect of improper combustion. Not the cause, but the effect.
Okay. I watched some videos. It looks like I need some lapping compound and a tool to spin the valve. I won't be able to try it Unit Friday. Is there some test I should do after I lap the values and before I put the valve head back together?
Use the lapping compound and a drill on the stem to turn it. With valves lapped and installed in head, you can use water in the ports to see if valves leak. Just hold head and fill either exhaust or intake port, and watch valve. Should be no leakage from valve seat area. Then repeat on the other port.
Got some free time today and tried to lap the exhaust valve. There is still a very small leak when I put water in the exhaust port. The videos I watched made it look like the lapping is very quick, but I have tried 4 or 5 times and it still leaks. Should I just keep at it? Is it possible to overdo it? I'm using Permatrax valve lapping compound. The directions say to start with coarse grit and move to fine grit, but the Permatrax tube doesn't provide a grit description. Am I missing something?
How does seat and valve face look? Are they making a full circle with no low spots? If looks good, it will work. You can't overdo it by hand grinding.
I will send some pictures on Friday. The seat looks smooth to me. The valve surface that contacts the seat also looks uniform, though the shape of the valve head is perhaps not quite a perfect circle. The leak in my test is annoyingly slight. At first it looks like there is no leak, and then as I watch I see the glimmer from a trickle of water around the rim of the valve.
It is not unusual to have slight leak on the liquid test. It will be okay.
Well, that's encouraging. I guess I should move on to the intake valve then. Is there a good way to clean the carbon buildup off the head and the piston? It seems like I should clean them while everything is taken apart.
All you can do is scrape it off.
Good to know. I saw a YouTube video where a guy made them very shiny using an angle grinder, but I couldn't see what kind of polishing wheel he used. I will stick to a scraper and Scotch-Brite.
A wire brush on a drill will clean them.
Okay. Got it back together. Same problem. When I pull the right side spark plug, it stops. Left compression is 83, right is 90. I also set the valve clearance on the right side.
How hard would it be to swap coils from other cylinder? Has to have air, fuel, and ignition at the right time. Run. Something is missing.
I just took a wire and connected the left spark plug to the right spark plug wire. Did not start but backfired. Now it occurs to me that maybe that is not the same thing as switching the coils, is it? I should be able to do your test if my test is not the same.
Not the same, as timing is off, if coils are not moved.
I have my hopes up again. I did a resistance test on both coils. R 0.5 m ohms, L 1.6 m ohms. John Deere says the reading should be between 1 and 2 m ohms or else replace it. The left is okay, but the test says to replace it. I'm going to switch them now. I have 3 weeks of grass waiting for me. I hope this works. Oops. I mean, the right coil is okay, but the left has too small a resistance. Hooray! It worked. I can get a new coil and cut my grass. Unfortunately, when I was moving the coil, a cap screw broke her off in its hole, so I am going to have to drill it out, but at least I know how to do that. Since the coil was loose, it hit the flywheel. The iron core metal is shiny where it hit, but otherwise seems okay. I shut the engine off immediately. I guess I am lucky it worked with the spacing off.
Okay.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/ythi.